The Apostles. The Sunday after the crucifixion was a dreadful day for the apostles. 10 of them spent most of the day behind locked doors. They had gathered in Jerusalem at the house of John Mark, staying in the same upper room where the Last Supper had taken place. They kept the doors bolted, fearing arrest by the Sanhedrin. Thomas was not with them. He was elsewhere, brooding alone, his worries pushing him into a victim's mindset. Thomas was overwhelmed by one of his typical bouts of desperate gloom. He slept for part of the day, and for the rest, he wandered the hills outside Jerusalem. He felt the urge to join his fellow apostles, but his desire to be alone was stronger. It would have been better for him if he had stayed with them. Throughout the day, Thomas wished almost constantly to be with his companions, and if one of the apostles had come to fetch him, he would surely have gone along. He truly longed to return, but he was too stubborn. Deep down, he feared losing face because of how he had left the previous evening. A strange sense of vanity filled his ego, making him feel perpetually sorry for himself, and this pride kept him from going back on his own. The next day, he was so deeply depressed that it took him nearly a week to become approachable again. The apostles waited for him, and he waited for his brothers to come get him. Trapped in this vicious cycle, Thomas remained isolated from his companions until the following Saturday evening, when Peter and John went to Bethphage and brought him back. This was one reason the apostles didn't immediately head to the safety of Galilee after the first resurrection rumors, as Jesus had instructed. They didn't want to leave without Thomas. All Sunday long, the apostle John kept brainstorming with his fellow apostles, insisting that Jesus might indeed have risen from the dead. He listed 5 different occasions when Jesus had assured them he would rise again, and at least 3 times when he had hinted at the 3rd day. John's words had some effect on their thinking, but he would have influenced them more if he hadn't been the youngest member of the group. That Sunday morning, the grief-stricken apostles repeatedly sank into apathetic, endless debates. Only the Alphaeus twins, who stayed out of the discussions, showed a remarkable cheerfulness. When Philip asked one of them why they seemed so upbeat, he replied, "We understand very little about the resurrection, but our mother says she spoke with the Master, and we believe her. Have you forgotten how we witnessed Lazarus rise from the dead a month ago?" Their isolation contributed significantly to their struggles. John Mark kept them updated on events around the temple and shared the rumors spreading through the city, but they had no contact with those to whom Jesus had already appeared. Jesus, however, deliberately delayed his visit to them. He wanted them to have time, after hearing of his resurrection, to reflect deeply on what he had told them about his death and rising. Jesus had prepared them for this moment, hoping they would act in faith based on his words. He also wished for Thomas to be with them when he first appeared.